Hi, my name is Cynthia, one of two account managers for Team 3. After long hours and days of planning and researching and brainstorming and writing and rehearsing, I believe we successfully came up with a solid ad campaign for Nature's Own. The positive of this subject were many for me. Firstly, I was fortunate enough to have a group that was always eager to work 100% of the time. Each and every individual was helpful, and we were always considerate to each other, no matter if it was our assigned job in the team or not. And this obviously made the semester very enjoyable, and we all became great friends. Um, I'm a strong believer in the quote, pleasure in the job puts perfection at work. So, this is why I can largely credit our success this semester to the seamless, cooperative, and happy atmosphere in our group. Of course, nothing worthwhile comes easily, and our success was not without hiccups. I think our greatest hiccup throughout the process was also my biggest learning experience, which I'd like to talk about. And this was the challenge of researching consumer behavior and psychology in order to gain enlightenment on accurate and valuable consumer insights. So I will draw on three key consumer behavior practitioners and researchers as a basis for my discussion about this great learning experience that I had. Firstly, practitioners Ling, D'Alessandro, and Windsor state that the consumer behavior researchers must apply new knowledge to previous research in order to use knowledge creatively and effectively. This proved particularly true for our primary consumer research. We already had the knowledge that Nature's Own primary consumer was women. And after thorough primary and secondary research, we were able to add to this and confirm that this was true and that our target market would in fact be women for this campaign. However, up until the final stages of our primary research, our group actually believed that we had a strong basis for men as the primary target market, despite past research. However, after countless team meetings, compiling focus groups, and in-depth interview conclusions, we found that we were in fact wrong, and we would have to change our target market back to women at such a late stage in the campaign. As per Ling, D'Alessandro, and Windsor, it would not have been possible to confidently arrive at this conclusion if we hadn't added our research to past research that was already out there. So this proved particularly important. Secondly, consumer profiling experts Barry Gunter and Adrian Fernham state the importance of both micro and macro consumer behavior research. The micro consumer behavior research focuses on individual purchase behavior and consumer motivations, which is exactly what our primary research consisted of. However, what I feel that we didn't really touch on was macro consumer behavior research, which has more to do with long-term societal impacts of marketing rather than focusing on satisfying consumer needs. In other terms, this is more about consumer behavior after making the purchase rather than getting the consumer to make the purchase. While this is something that we could have touched on further for further insights and development of an effective campaign, I feel it would have been particularly valuable information for a post-campaign evaluation, which was my job and which was something that I could have greatly benefited from. Finally, consumer behavior expert Gordon Foxall makes the point that traditionally, when carrying out consumer research, income was a huge factor and was classed as a major determinant of purchase choices. However, nowadays, consumer research is based on a wide range of stimuli and response mechanisms. And this proved particularly true for our primary consumer research, as we tried really hard to ensure that we were asking the right questions to gain the widest, deepest insight we could into exactly what might motivate our audience to buy or consume the products. Our findings, as per Gordon Foxall's point, were strongly based on psychological stimuli and triggers and barely touched on income factors at all. All in all, I view our hiccups in the research process as a positive learning experience, as it taught me the value in research and the value in expert industry opinions, as those three that I have discussed. All in all, I do believe that this reinforces the saying, never a failure, always a lesson learned.